Hello, and welcome to Injury Recovery Mindset, Session 3. I'm Dr. Craig Seifer, sports psychologist and certified mental performance consultant with the UR Medicine Fitness Science Program. Today, we're going to shift our focus a little bit. We will discuss self-talk, the process, and the importance of managing our internal thoughts in a way that's going to be helpful and productive going forward. One question I like to ask is, who's the most important person you talk to each day? And when I meet with groups, they might say a couple of different things. They might say a coach, they might say a parent, or a friend, or a teammate. And those are all excellent answers, but unfortunately, they're the wrong answers. The most important person that you talk to each day is yourself. We are in a constant state of dialogue with ourselves all through the day. There's research that estimates that we have as many as 40,000 thoughts in a day. That's a lot of time where we are simply thinking and talking to ourselves. Our self-talk is very important. And we know that negative self-talk is incredibly harmful. Saying things to ourselves like, "How can you make such a stupid mistake?" Or, "I always mess up at big moments. I just can't get this right." Or maybe when recovering from an injury, we may say to ourselves, "I'm not ready." Or, "What if I get hurt?" Those negative thoughts or doubts are detrimental. We want to have a more positive focus, being able to say to ourselves, "Everyone makes mistakes. Stay focused. Trust your preparation. Trust your training. Keep grinding." But if we notice, those aren't necessarily positive thoughts. It's more accurate to label these as neutral thoughts, as they're not excessively positive in terms of what we are telling ourselves. But it's more about, where do we need to be focused in the moment? So how do we get to this neutral self-talk? One way to think about it has to do with goal setting. There's a form of goal setting that can be particularly helpful in terms of our self-talk, and that is having a focus on process goals. We hear this phrase all the time: trust the process. Social media is filled with the hashtag trust the process. What does it mean to be focused on the process? What does it mean to trust the process? Well, process goals are what you actually have to do to achieve a larger goal. Process goals are small steps that are in our control and positively or neutrally focused. And if we take care of these steps, they lead to good outcomes. Process goals are focused on the present. What do I need to do right now? Process goals can be instructional. What action do I need to take? Or what do I need to focus on? Some examples of process goals that are instructional might be, keep my feet moving, or stay low. Our process goals for self-talk could instead be motivational, based on the energy level that I need to have. So if I want to be in the green zone, "You've got this," or "Lock in, dial in." One way to think about this is to picture yourself in an Olympic-sized swimming pool. It's the last lap of a race. You are swimming the last 25 meters of that race, fighting to finish first. The temptation you face is the desire to look beyond your own lane and into those of your competitors. However, if you do that, you will lose your pacing and slow yourself down. Looking over at your competitors will only keep you from performing your best. In order to be successful, your focus cannot be 40% on your competitors and only 60% on your own effort. Your focus needs to be 100% on your lane. When we're injured, it's easy to get ourselves focused on things outside of our control. That's why we need you 100% focused on your goals and your process. In my work with athletes, we refer to our process-focused self-talk as the ABCs. ABCs because they are the fundamental focus we need to be successful. To illustrate this, let's talk about a few examples. I worked with a hockey player that played defense and was coming back from a concussion injury. She created the following ABCs to keep herself focused on the process. The A of her self-talk was keep my feet moving. If she stayed on her toes and stayed active as a player, good things were going to happen. Her B was aggressive into corners. In hockey, a puck going into the corner is an opportunity to gain possession. So if she was aggressive in the corners, her focus would be on knocking the offensive player off the puck and gaining possession. And her C was always break out. Once she had possession, her next point of focus was to look to transition from defense to offense. These ABCs became her mantra, her focus all the way through that game, before each shift, in between shifts, even while she was on the ice. Keep my feet moving, aggressive into corners, break out. Another example of these ABCs comes from a soccer player coming back from a hip injury. He had a tendency to get focused on the injury itself and would often begin to wonder and worry, what if I get injured again? Or what if my hip isn't ready? For his ABCs, he focused on 3 key parts of his game. Process goals that led to success on the field. The first one, his A, was his first touch. For him, having a good first touch as he gained possession of the ball was the key to starting things off positively. His B was vision. While he needed to have his head down for that first touch, he needed to quickly have his head up to see the field. To him, vision meant seeing the field well, including his teammates and his opponents, so that he can make the best possible decisions. And his C was always commit. For this athlete, having a focus on committing to each decision he made from moment to moment kept him in the present. If he committed to each decision, good things were going to happen. First touch, vision, commit, kept this athlete focused on his process and led to positive results. And away from any negativity or anxious thoughts, I want you to think about the challenges you are facing as you return to practicing, training, and competing. What would your ABCs be? What are the small steps that are in your control, that are either positively or neutrally focused, that can keep you performing in the present? What are the steps where you know, if I stay focused on these actions, good outcomes will result? As part of our program, you have process goal sheets in your workbook. The process goal sheet looks a little bit like this. It is geared towards helping your focus move from negative to positive or neutral self-talk. Focus on the ABCs of your process and take time to think about how are you going to apply this technique as you continue your process of getting back to performance. So here are your golden repair goals that we have for this week. 1, we want you to continue to stay aware of your thoughts and your emotional states, staying vigilant about how we're thinking and how we're feeling. 2, we need to continue to practice our breathing and PMR mindset skills. The more you can regulate your energy in positive ways, the better off you're going to be as you continue to work through the stress that comes from returning to your sport. 3, utilize your ABC process goals to manage your self-talk. Developing and using ABCs will help keep you focused and neutral as you progress and move forward. Once again, I'm Dr. Craig Seifer, sports psychologist for the UR Medicine Fitness Science Program. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to me. You can connect with me on social media or by email, and let me know if any questions come up in ways that I can help going forward. I'll see you next time.